Okay, let's start over. Like, let's do a better. Sydney.
Yeah.
You moved.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
it's not an accusation. It's not an accusation.
what's it to you? You'll never catch me.
Yeah. What's your address and tell us?
Dox yourself on the podcast and tell us where you live.
You're in Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, I'm in Brooklyn. I think maybe I mentioned that I moved on the last. I honestly don't remember, but I did move, and I feel like it's all I talk about because I'm still in the process of like setting up the apartment. So all my free time is like I come home from work and then I do some more work, but it's on the apartment and like making it nice and cozy.
Yeah.
But it takes time. It's like Rome wasn't built in a day. So every day there's like a new little project and they're fun. Like today I'm starting a project of reupholstering this couch, this trash couch that I found. And it's like cool, mid-century modern. And I'm going to reupholster it and make it look nice. But I'm like, every day I look at this fucking ugly couch and I'm like, I gotta get started on that couch.
You know how to reupholster?
I know the basic way of like, I have the old cushions so I can take the fabric and basically like make the mold from the old cushions. If you were to like give me dimensions and be like, sew a cushion, I'd be like, oh, I'm kind of fucked. I like need the pillow to do it. But I can do it that way.
That's so cool. I think, like, I know this about Sydney, that she's like, oh, I have this kitchen project that I need your opinion on, Ellie. Like, I want to make this, I don't know, spaceship. And I'm like, why do you think I would know anything about this? But also, cool. I want that. I want, like, one of those beds you can fold down. Because imagine this space.
It's a lot of YouTube videos.
Yeah.
It's like, everything's on YouTube. So you just, like, look it up. You're like, how to make, and then it just pops up. So.
That's true.
So, in the future, we need to do, like, Queer Eye for the Vassin guy, and you'll be home. Ellie, what would you be?
What do they have in Queer Eye? They have they have like food, fashion, home,
and grooming.
Like grooming,
like makeover.
Right?
How do you take care of your skin?
There's a fifth one, right? It's Fab 5, was it?
Oh, and then it's food, fashion, fab.
Working out.
No, it's not working out, but it should be. It's like self-care, basically.
I feel like he always makes them work out. No, he always makes them. It's always like, let's go to the gym. Every episode, they're like, time to go to the gym. And I'm like, really? Yeah. Okay.
It's worse than that, though, Sid, because it's let's go to the gym and talk about your feelings. Because I will only do one of those things. You need to choose.
It's a Queer Eye for a straight guy. Do they have other categories? Is it just straight guys, or is it like the messy woman as well?
So the new one that's on Netflix is like it's just called Queer Eye, and they certainly like uplift queer voices. But they've done a lot of like trans people, and they've done it's not gendered anymore. All of they call them like their heroes. All of the heroes are from all over the spectrum and all over the country, and they also did like a season in Japan. Do I watch a lot of Queer Eye? Yes. Okay, you caught me. Yeah.
I watched it while it was still called Fab 5.
Me too.
But I think like sort of the pull was that they went for like the redneck homophobic folks in like the woods, which I thought was like hilarious because it's like, oh no, these five queer men are gonna turn me gay, and then it's like, yep, and I think you're better off now.
I think they sort of realized that was like limiting the scope of the stories that could be told, and so while they definitely have done like ranchers and people who may not typically run into folks from the queer community that often or recognize that they are. I think like it just opened up a whole lot more types of stories that they can tell, and I like that. I like that.
Well, speaking of a limited story,
let's hop right back on the rails and go on some Vassin.
Yeah. No, I think last week we left off a really good, like, strong first ep, ladies. Well done. We got some 12-year-old problematic stuff, and we got Lydia B. Thornwood II, and we got Arthur Morgan. No. Violet Morgan. Yep. With the dog.
What's the dog's name, Ellie?
Lancelot. I remember that.
You can only kill him if you remember his name.
Yeah. Good. That's a good rule, actually. You need
Yeah.
a name. That's like Game of Thrones. Like, a man needs a name. What happened to that storyline?
It's a girl has no name.
A girl has no name.
What happened to that
right.
storyline?
Yeah,
It's a main one.
Also, I love that all of our banter today has been like, Sydney, you're so skilled. You move. Anne consumes media. That's
yeah.
my story for this episode. Anne watches things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ellie remembers like 20% of it, and you correct me.
That's because you're a mother. Full circle.
Yep. But speaking though of this great first ep we had, I wanted to like briefly mention a little bit like how hard it is to do this in England as opposed to Scandinavia, because I don't care about offending Scandinavians because they're my family, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can talk shit about my siblings. It's a little how I feel about it. Being a little bit like, oh, these dumb Anglo-Saxons and their dumb cultural traditions, it feels wrong. It doesn't roll off my tongue as easy. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting how long I last in the world of Britain and before I move back to Scandinavia.
Well, Eleanor, just have a stiff upper lip and take it on the chin.
Yeah.
Ha ha, British people.
Haha. Exactly. Yeah, I spoke to my friend Matt, who was just like, no, English people will hate you, but they will never tell you, so don't worry about it. And I'm like, okay. I know that doesn't make me feel better.
So if you're out there, thanks for hating us, England.
England, we're coming for you. But I actually remember now we did not end it on England. We ended it in Norway because what actually happened is that your two alter egos in the 80s found themselves in Norway. A short blonde woman just called you from outside, refused to go inside of this creepy ass F house that you find yourselves in. Hello?
Hi. Sorry, we didn't mean to. Do you live here?
Is this your house? Because like the door was wide open and also like a little bit dirty. No offense if it's your house.
Oh, yes, it's well, technically I own this land. I live further down the road, but I'm sort of the owner. I inherited this place a long time ago, but I don't really live here because I frankly the house is in really rough shape. I'm rambling on. I'm sorry. But do you need? Why are you here?
Oh, well, I was hungry. And, well, it's like really dark. And we were driving for a while. And there's like nothing out here.
Yeah, we were hoping it'd be kind of like a motel or something. And I'm so sorry if it's not. I'm so sorry.
Like there are literally so many consonants in the sign. And like there's like so many consonants. And I thought like for sure this meant hotel.
Yeah,
but there's...
America!
No, it's fine. I understood. And she looks at she politely looks at the sign that says in English Moon Lake Hotel, and then it's like
it was in English. Wait, the sign was in English.
Well, it's like the Moon Lake is in English and hotel is the same word.
Oh,
so it's like, but it's very funny that she's like, oh. No, it makes sense.
That checks out.
I should remove that sign. Really, we haven't been operating for a while. The roof fell down, and frankly, I don't even go in there anymore because it's a little dangerous. I'm worried that something will fall. But you found that in there, and she points to Amber, who's carrying the book you were reading.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I thought I had removed all of them. I have the rest of them in my house. But if you really can't find a hotel, I feel like it's my fault that you're here. So I would advise to not stay up here. It could be very and she looks towards the house, but it's like she's hiding something.
She's gonna look behind her, just like slowly turn behind her and look back through the door, following the woman's gaze.
Yeah, you see nothing. It's just darkness behind you. But you get a sense that maybe you should move away from the door because it's like just opening up to this vast darkness right now.
Yeah, she just kind of like skips and half trips down the stairs and laughs it off. And she says, well, I mean, and she kind of looks back at her friend. She's like, if she's offering, I mean, we really don't have anywhere else to go.
Okay. I mean, do you have anything to eat?
Yes, I have plenty of fika. I actually just made some Norwegian cinnamon buns.
Oh my god, what a treat.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would die.
I have some coffee too. I don't know if you are the kind of Americans who drink angel piss coffee.
Ooh, trying not to drink coffee. Trying not to drink coffee.
Oh,
I'll try anything once, even piss. Kidding.
Wait, did you say piss coffee? Did you say piss coffee?
I said it's what we call them here, like the angel piss coffee. It's like the American coffee because you have so much water in your coffee.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, you haven't heard that. Never mind. I will make tea for you.
Okay.
I mean, so you like mysteries, huh? And she like sidles up next to her.
It's frankly, it was quite interesting. And she starts walking towards her car that's parked next to your car down the road. It's quite interesting, really, how you've found them, because I've been reading these books for a while and they're so fascinating. It's from like this time period that I know so very little about. And I think it was my great grandmother who used to live up here, and then so it's been in the family ever since. But then, you know, no one really took care of it, and now it ended up on me because I'm the youngest in my. And she gives you a whole ass family drama story about how she ended up with this house and how she's the only one who takes care of it, but she's clearly not taking care of it. And how it used to be like a hippie residence back in the 70s. Actually back in the 60s now, because
this is the 80s.
I wanted it to be like 30 years ago, and I'm like, no, apparently 10 years ago. The further you get away from the house, the less nervous she seems, and you eventually get to a cute little cottage. In there, there's a lot of fika prepared. Can I offer you anything else then if you don't like coffee?
Oh my god, I honestly, it's been really long, and this feels like one of those adventures where like we're just girls being girls, and I would love a drink. Do you want to like have a drink with us?
Oh, of course.
Whoa!
And she,
What the fuck?
And she transforms.
Oh, alcohol,
into a
my
vampire.
secret. Now I'm evil.
She just hisses and becomes bats.
Yeah. She pours you heavy, like the only thing she has is like heavy aquavit. Cosmopolitan, has that even been made yet in the 80s? What was it? Sex on the Beach, woo! But I don't have any of the
I'll drink some
ingredients.
aquavit. That sounds great.
Yeah, thank you
like,
so much.
What is life if not just a series of wild experiences?
We're on a road trip together because we're best friends. We love hanging out with each other.
I love how when I wrote this, can I just say this? When I wrote this, I had no intention of this turning into California girls
Listen.
having sex, mad sex. Anyway.
What?
Oh, we weren't gay, Sydney? Did you not?
Oh, I mean, we could absolutely be gay. All I said was we're on a road trip because we're best friends. And I like how Ellie's like, they are fucking the whole way.
We're
the
best
whole
friends.
way.
We're close.
I think, no, I love it. So here we are. I'm wondering, like, how do I make this creepy again? But, yeah, but so you guys sit down and you drink aquavit, taking shots. It seems like this girl, I don't know, have you asked her for her name yet? You haven't. And she hasn't asked for your names. So you're a nameless woman, and now it's awkward. No one
now we're drinking. Everyone's like a little rosy, probably. I don't know how you feel about that, Sid, but I feel like it's funnier if we're just like, oh my god, to the three of us, it's Amber and, oh no, I forgot Sid's character's name.
Jane Costner, no relation.
Right, and both of our parents are named Kevin.
Oh, right. Your dad's,
Yeah, that's
my
how
dad's
we
Kevin.
found each other.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my god, I feel so stupid. My name is Amber. And I feel like we never asked you your name, and now we're drinking aquavit in your house. I'm fucked up right now.
Rude. I'm so sorry. My name is Jane Costner, no relation. What was your name?
My name is Margaret.
Margaret. That's a really pretty name.
Thank you. And you can call me Magan, but that's if you want.
Magan?
It's fine. Magan, but I realize now that in English that's hard to say, so you can call me Margaret if that's.
I mean, we
easier.
can't read a fucking sign, so.
I'm gonna call
that's-
you Mahjong. Yes.
Okay, cool. But so how
I'm fucking tired.
and the three of you starts to hit it off.
I'm sorry. I said Mahjong.
I'm so sorry. I don't know why that got me so mad.
The three sisters is like Masha.
Marsha. We're all named Marsha. I'm sorry, Ellie. I'm sorry. I'm so derailing of this episode.
This is perfect.
Please,
This is perfect.
Please go ahead.
I'm just gonna take it from here and say that the three of you get drunk, and then you start talking about this book again, and you start all three of you start reading it. And we are back in London,
Nice.
where
save.
three other women are staring at each other, not drunk. You find yourself in the Rose house, and last where we left off, Violet told Amelia, the woman in need, that she does not need to worry. You all got this. Do you guys remember? This was
Yes.
a week ago. Yep. So that's
Her
what
brother
happened.
Martin abandoned his family.
Exactly, and went to so that the only thing you know is that Amelia came to the police station. Her case landed on Lydia's table in a pretty sexist way somehow. You were sent to the Rose House because you know that that's where, for some reason, that's where your chief wanted you to go. And you haven't really, neither of you have a reason to believe that this is a strange situation yet, but so far you've only heard that like this woman who he lives with seems strange, but that's like based on her story, Amelia's story. So yeah, so that's all you know. It's that he's lost.
We do know that it was weird. Well, we think it's weird because it sounds like a cult.
Exactly, like it sounds like
Yes. So that's like the weirdness.
the weirdness is that he went to like an artistic colony of poets, and yeah, I mean you guys should research it more if you want to.
Well, if he found it, certainly we could try to find some information about it ourselves.
So before you go, I'm gonna send you guys a map of Hampstead, where it's located, this house. But you can also, before you leave your headquarters, which is quote unquote like the Rose House is your headquarters right now, you can try to get an advantage. You can prepare in some ways specifically for this, or you can prepare later. You can always try to get an advantage throughout the mystery, but only one. You know that it's called the Newford House. And you can, whatever you want to do.
What should we do? Should we try to find out if there are any other missing people who went to Newford House?
Right. Yeah, I think that would be the best. Well, I mean, if they're out there recruiting people, I'm sure they've got flyers up or the boys handing out the papers, and I'm sure we could find out more information just by hitting the streets, which is where I actually got to be getting back to. You know what? I mean, you could come with me. I'm on this case through the system. I know this is outside of the system, but
I have to say, I am a bit surprised to see someone like you in your line of work. How does that go over?
oh, you mean because I'm short?
Right. That's what I meant.
Yeah, well, it's hard to sometimes, the carriages might not see you, whatnot, when you're crossing the street, but that makes me a little taller, so.
Very well then. Keep your secrets, she says.
Amazing.
I know it's because I'm a woman, is what you're getting at.
Right. I mean, I ain't got no problem with it. I just, being someone a bit outside the bounds of society's plan is something I happen to know a bit about myself. So, respect, I suppose, is what I'm trying to communicate.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's hard to get respect. I surely don't get it from my boss, I'll tell you that, but
Is he gonna be okay with you running off to Newford House?
I kind of doesn't really check in on me or nothing like that. I mostly report to him. I mean, he will be upset if nobody's taking out the rubbish or shining his shoes and whatnot in the back rooms, which is usually what I end up doing on the weekends. So I could probably... I think it would be fine if I went. I think it'd be good if I went. Yeah, I gotta prove myself.
Give him a chance to miss you.
Sure. Yeah, let's go with that.
And you know that there's a police station in Hampstead that you could probably talk to that office as well, Lydia. And I sent you guys a map, so there's a couple of places of interest. And it's just an hour away with carriage, so it's not like you that far for you, either of you. However, you would probably want to get to an inn or something and stay there if you want, like in the society. Rose House would pay for that. Send the receipts back to them. So there's Newford House, which is to the west, and then there's on the main street there's a couple of stores, like a butcher, tobacco store, and then there's the police station, and then there's also Hampstead Gazette, which is a newspaper.
Well, is there like an Hampstead Arms or something where we could get food and a lodging for the night?
Yes, you can absolutely go there, and they would have that.
Right. Great. Well,
Oi, they got a fishmonger. We gotta go. They got a fishmonger right on the main drag.
You don't get out much, do you, mate?
You can't pass up a good fishmonger.
Is that
one thing?
She's trying to like determine if this is like, how like girls try to figure out if the other one is also gay.
Oh,
so she's like, oh, you like fishmongers, do you?
I'm just like shooting firecrackers off. Like you have no idea. It's like everything in which direction. You're like, is she asexual? Like, does she even know?
Don't know
what's going on.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Keep your secrets, as she says. So she says, oh, by the way, this is Lance. And she says, here, boy. And the dog comes up and says, I need to travel with him because I have a bit of trouble with me sight. And she sort of twists her glasses a little bit.
Yeah, all right.
So,
I love dogs. I love dogs. That's a good dog.
He really is. Well, now that we're organized, we know where we're going. Is there anything you want to do here before we take a carriage?
Yeah. I kind of wanted to check in, just hit the town, hit the street real quick, just to see.
Go clubbing.
No.
Oh,
Well, maybe,
right.
and I raise my club up, my little baton. I think as soon as we get there, we should go to the newspaper in Hampstead to see if they've put out a listing or whatever they're trying to lure people in with. They probably put in the papers.
Right. They also might have information on other missing people, if that is a thing.
Yeah. Yep, so there's the Hampstead Gazette, and it's on the main street, so you can definitely, that can be your first stop after. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit, like the inn is of no importance, so there's no weird innkeeper, it's just a regular innkeeper who's quiet and cute, and he boring as hell, and he just sets you up. He seems to be related to the Rose House, like they have connections everywhere, so you can stay with them. and you find yourselves outside the Hampstead Gazette, and you can enter.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's go. Come on, boy. And she sort of whistles and keeps her dog. She has a little handle on his back to help guide her.
Awesome. And in there's a wiry man. There's just one room, and there's one person in there, sitting behind a typewriter. It's a wiry man in his mid-30s with thinning, sandy hair, pale blue eyes, and glasses. And he is the editor-in-chief of the Hampstead Gazette. And he looks up and he greets you. Good afternoon. How may I help you?
Hello there, my name's Lydia B. Ferngood II. I'm with the police department in London proper, and I'm here investigating a case of a missing persons, and I wanted to be having a look at the newspaper for any information on missing peoples or any pertinent clues or what have you.
Immediately he's like, oh, I have heard nothing about a missing person. Is it in relation with that house up there?
Oh, that's the Newford house, right?
Yes. Are you not with the local police? I don't recognize either of you.
Sorry, we're under the jurisdiction of Rose House in London. Have you ever heard of them?
I have not.
We're looking for an acquaintance. Our brother went missing, so we're just checking in.
Lydia's reaching into her breast pocket where she would have like a badge if they would give her one, but they don't. So she instead pulls out like the leather thing where the badge would go, and inside is like a piece of printed paper, and it says like officer of the people, like Lydia B. Thorngood, and there's like a half-ass signature on it. It looks so shitty. But she
also, and totally new, because if there was a badge in it, it would be like dented where the badge is. It's just fresh leather, flat.
She opens it up and she goes, I'm with the London Police Department.
Cool.
It's identification, but she just slides it onto the desk.
He is not convinced, but he is also like a journalist, so he's quite intrigued by this whole thing. But he also is intimidated by something, so he's like, well, I can't really be involved, if that makes sense. I'm not really. This is a quiet and peaceful neighborhood. I would not know anything about any wrongs that might have been committed around here, or people missing. That seems like a very interesting story, but I certainly wouldn't be able to publish anything on it. But if you want, I could. I mean, if you want to read up on the house, or...
Oh, we are happy to do any and all of our own research if you'll just give us access to the means to do so. We'll keep you totally out of it.
Oh, is that a promise? Because between you and me, I can't afford being dragged into something. I mean, the people who live here, the townspeople here, they have somewhat pressured me into not writing anything bad about Hampstead, so I can't really write about gossip, if that makes sense. If a person missing and it's not filed with the local police officer, then it's not really on. I can't write about that and risk anything. However,
well, we don't know your name, and she takes his nameplate and just flips it around the other way so that it's not facing them anymore. And you don't have to know us either. That'll make our jobs a bit easier, and we can just pretend this never happened as long as you give us access to what we need to do our research.
Also, I'm with the law, but I'm not above the law. So if we do find out any information, I could obviously tell you first, and you could have the scoop on it.
Huh. No, that's quite interesting. And actually, that's like a part of the challenge of like trying to convince him. And this is exactly how you convince him. So you don't even have to roll for this. He's just like salivating from it. So he lets you into the cabinet where everything that's been written about Newford House is stored. And he looks the other way. He turns the other cheek, and continues to write about marital drama or something. And and so you get access to the files. And if you spend a couple of hours there, you would find out that Newford House was owned by a man called Edward Danville, and he married a Kitty Danville a couple of years ago.
Right. Which is the owner
Yes.
of Newford House right now.
Exactly. And he died 2 years ago, suddenly.
And his name was what again?
Edward.
Husband Edward Danville.
Nothing suspicious about it being, outside of it being sudden. He was 52 years old.
Wait, and what's the wife's name? Kippy?
Kitty.
Kitty.
Kitty cat. The other thing that's been written about the house, it's not that much, but it's that she's been hosting salon evenings.
That makes sense with the poetry.
Yeah, but it was very, very quickly after her husband's funeral. But a lot of prominent writers and artists and musicians and poets have been among her guests. But there's also been a lot of disturbances from the house. A lot of neighbors have called the police several times because the colony members are known to be very drunk, ending up in jail for being too drunk and disorderly. But nothing ever serious have been brought against them.
So they never had salons before. How would they say it on Downton Abbey is how I am trying to imagine this accent going. They never had salons there before he died.
No. This neighborhood has been extremely quiet
Got it.
up until Kitty moved in. And Roland Blake, which is the name, by the way, of the journalist, but you don't know that because you turned around. But he's getting like a little interested in what you guys are doing, so he's confirming a lot of the what your findings. But he's like, obviously, if you find out something, please let me know. But you should probably talk to the police as well, and maybe some neighbors around the area. They will give you more info. But
Are there any of these poets who have been drunk and disorderly that are no longer living there but still in town? It seems like they do travel away from Newford House from time to time.
I can't say I've kept track. I would not know.
All right. Well, where else did we want to go? We should check in with some neighbors. Maybe is there a place we could go that has, a bar or something where we might be able to ask about people running into the drunken disorderly folk and what their manner was?
Yeah, and the Newford House is right in the smack middle of a residential area, so there will be neighbors right like next to the house as well if you want to knock on doors. Or it's currently in the middle of the day still, so you would.
Why don't we stop by the tobacco store on the way? I don't smoke; it'll kill you, I hear. But
Wow,
they
probably-
probably very clear.
They're very progressive back in the 1800s.
Super progressive.
From the non-smoking generation of 1860.
But I think it's just down the street from here. If we stop there, I mean, certainly artists are gonna smoke.
Yep.
All
Can
right.
do that. Yeah, so you get into the tobacco store. There's 2 people in there and a couple of patrons, but there's a shopkeeper and what you assume is a shop assistant of interest, and then there's some regular patrons. But no, you haven't seen any people who seem drunk and weird yet.
She's gonna sort of approach the get a table for the two of. Sorry. So she's gonna get a table for the. No, it's not a bar. Anne, stop.
I
Okay,
love it.
sorry. So she will approach the counter and say, "Hello there. Curious. What kind of tobacco do you recommend bringing up to Newford House? We were thinking about attending one of the salons."
As when you mention Newford House, his face drops and he's just like, "Oh, I I wouldn't know what they like up there.
Should we not go?
Are you part of it?
Well, I thought me father died recently, and I thought, it might be nice to hear some poetry, soothe the soul, they say.
You're not her usual type, and he looks you up and down, and then he looks at Lydia as well.
What is Miss Kitty, right? Our usual type?
This establishment does not trade in gossip. Good day to you.
I am gonna slide some money across the table.
Well, a type is usually young men. Young, drunk, idiotic men who seem to think with something else than their head, if you know what I'm saying.
I've met one or two of those in my day. Give them a swift kick on the rear, and they're out of here. That's what I always say.
Shut up, woman.
Oh, God. Sorry. What? Well, thank you. Good day.
Right. That is a good saying.
Well, I am sorry to have bothered you, but I am also quite, shocked. And she grabs for pearls, but there's just her big, wool scarf, and she realizes, she's not a good liar or, good at any of this intrigue. So she says, well, thank you for your information. That...
Sir, we're looking for a missing persons who we believe might... What? I'm doing Henrik's accent. Oh my God.
Henrik, hello.
Henrik comes out. He's like, I'm being the detective now. Wow, I miss Henrik. Okay.
Yeah.
Henrik is dead. Henrik is dead to me. Henrik is dead to me. That's what I say before every show. So we're looking for a missing persons who we believe might have been involved with whatever they are. So any information that you have, we would be happy to hear it. No judgment. So I don't know what goes on up there, but we're trying to figure it out. So
Listen, we do not want to get involved. And he hands back the bill. And he seems like you've pushed him a little too far right now. Go to the police station and get out of my store right now.
Lovely place, though. All right, we're going. She starts to back out.
And then the shop assistant who hasn't paid attention is like, "Can I help you with anything?"
She finally gets a little bit brave as she gets to the door, and she just turns back and she says, "Tobacco kills, smoking kills." And then she almost runs into the door because she can barely see. And she tries to leave.
Yeah, the shop assistant, really? And, back then they're probably super medicinal.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I thought it was good.
You'll want to rethink your life.
So you might have pushed too far, but it seems like the shops might not be where you would find
it also
any
seems
helpful
like
information outside of them being and a little scared of whatever goes on.
Well, it seems like the people wouldn't even shop at the shops, no? Like, they wouldn't be welcome to come back into town.
Yeah, if we're asking about it, then and we're getting this kind of guff, then it seems likely that they don't come this way. So he did have a good idea, though, going to the police station.
I will say this: if you went into other shops, they would probably say we don't associate with this house at all. We don't serve those patrons. Most in a very loud voice, so other neighbors heard it too. Because this is an upper middle class area, and they hate the decadence that this house brought to the neighborhood.
Well, let's talk to the police then. I mean, surely, given your status, they would be able to offer something.
I could try. Can I talk to you for a second? And she pulls you aside outside.
Right.
So, here's the thing. I'm a constable. that's my title, technically. But within the force, I'm not quite regarded as a constable, if you know what I mean. It's sort of like what we were saying before with basically because I'm a woman, they should have never let me in the force. But my dad was a police chief, and my granddad was a police chief, and I grew up in it, and they kind of let me in as a courtesy to my dad, but they don't really accept me in the force. Even though I did the training, it's not nepotism or nothing like that. I mean, I'm well suited for the job, but they don't give me. I don't get a badge. They didn't even give me boots because they said that none of them will fit me. So.
Well, here's what I think. If you're willing to hear it, I think that if we solve this case and it is reported through proper channels here in the Hampstead force back to London that you were a part of this, it can only reflect well on you. If they are a bit of nitwits who don't respect what you bring to the table, then maybe they just need to hear it from somebody else.
That was my thought. They never really gave me a chance for none of the other cases or nothing, so I figured if I was able to do this one on my own, well, with you, obviously, and I appreciate your help, but if I was able to do this one, then yeah, they would...
Listen, Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Sid. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, then maybe they would give me some boots.
Perhaps that's true. Listen, I spent most of my younger life in service. It wasn't until the last few years that I was able to break away and try to do me own thing in London. It's one of the only places where a woman can break away and do her own thing. So, listen, we're going to do this. I'll be seen as doing a bang-up job by Rose House, and maybe you'll be seen as having something to offer back in London as well. So, we got this. Let's just walk into this police station. Imagine yourself the way that you want everybody else to see you, and just do that.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I could do that.
I spent a lot of time serving the upper ranks, and let me tell you, a lot of it is just pretense.
Okay, let's go. And she straightens her little hat out and tucks her baton and fluffs her jacket a little bit. Starts walking.
That's right. Come on, Lance.
And at the police station, you're greeted by a Sergeant Gerald Hall. He is about 50 years old with brown eyes and thinning dark hair that is flecked with gray. He has a walrus mustache that dominates his round reddish face. And upon seeing the two of you, he wipes his head with a handkerchief because he's sweating. And it's like seeing two women. He's like, oh, more trouble. And so instantly, you're judged, basically. He's like, Mrs., how can I help you?
Hello, sir. My name's Lydia B. Ferngood II. I'm here investigating the case from London proper. I'd like some information on a missing persons that we're looking into. If you have any sources leading to clues that we can use for our investigations.
You say B. Thurngood II. Any relation with A. Thurngood the First? Wait, what was your dad's name?
What was his name? Did I say it?
Just goes
Hold on, did I say
I don't know if you did. You probably didn't.
Hold on, I'm looking. Oh yeah. Oh,
Arnold
I don't know if I said
Palmer
it.
Thongood.
No, I have it written down. Vincent Thurgood is her father.
Thurgood, any relation with Vincent?
Oi, that's me da. That's me father.
Oh, I used to work under him a long time ago. Why don't you give your dad my best?
He died, actually.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
That's all right. Thank you. He was a good man and a good officer. I'm sure that you already know that, but
Yes, I will pray for him tonight. I'm so sorry to hear that.
And he warms up to you.
So what can I help you with?
we have a missing person from London proper, and
Oh,
are you all right?
oh, sorry. I'm just
And he is on the edge of a stress meltdown. So as just mentioning a missing person, he's just
continue, please. This day can't get any worse.
You sure you want me to continue? You're getting really sweaty on the forehead. You look like you're gonna pass out.
It's just that I feel like it's just this onslaught of awful news every day, and this I did not sign up for this.
More missing peoples.
It's just that damn house. I'm sorry, I'm speaking out of turn.
Newford House.
Oh, you know about them? Oh, are you one of them?
No, God no. I don't look like a pansy poet, man. Do I? I hope I don't.
No. Oh, no, you don't. But the only reason why you're here, it's the only reason why anyone comes here nowadays seems to be about that damn bloody house.
Yeah, I keep asking for clues, but I think I'm getting them by the way everybody's been reacting to my questioning. But yeah, we do believe that the person was last seen at the Newford house. They're a writer, and the family's real worried about them. But you seem to have more on your plate than just a single missing person, so what's been going on in Hampstead?
No, it's just we're getting reports every day. Every day someone has done something in that house. They've puked on a carriage. They've passed out in an alleyway. The other day, someone had done number 2 right outside this police station.
Oh, I've been there, Ricky.
Oh, you have one of those as well? Wait.
Oh yeah, there's a kid who shits on my doorstep every day.
Oh, no, you give them a little finger, you're nice to one orphan, and then they start shitting on your porch.
Yeah, I gave him a piece of bread one time.
Ah,
Now he's
that's-
always pissing on stuff.
A huge mistake.
Obvious. This is 19th century humor that only we understand.
Yeah, they both said, like, I like you. You could tell you're
Cracking
a Vincent's
up.
girl.
Yeah, I slap him on the back.
No, it's just, but missing people, this is the last thing I need, a missing person. But I feel like a lot of men, they go in there and they get lost in whatever is going on in there.
I'm not passing it off to Hampstead. I'm not asking you to do nothing. Clearly you got your hands full, but me and my partner here, and I turn, I'm like,
Oi. She
we-
gives a thumbs up.
we high five.
You're doing
Oh, he's like,
great.
are you really just found out your partners, huh?
Yeah, I
High
say
five.
unsure. I'm like, are we? We plan on doing the investigation, but we got to know what we're getting ourselves into. Can we just walk into the house? Can we start asking questions?
You need to talk to that woman first, probably.
Kitty.
Kitty Danville. But who's missing?
His name's Martin. He's a writer, and his sister Amelia found me on the street. She was hanging flyers, and nobody would help her. Which maybe this is why, because people go in there and they just don't come back out.
Oh, I remember that girl. Oh, she was here a couple of weeks ago. We're understaffed, underpaid. This is... I feel bad now if she went all the way into the city to ask for help. You're welcome to...
And he feels very conflicted about this, like letting you go through the police records and files. But since you are Vincent's daughter, he's just... I mean, just be quick.
Thank you, sir. And I think also, like, I show him, like, I keep a picture of, like, Lydia and her dad, like, pressed in with, like, the badge thing. Old, kind of, like, wrinkly, you know, black and white photo. And I think as we're chatting and stuff, I, like, show him the photo. And we just, like, talk about my dad for a little bit. Just to add on to, like, he's not just letting me see the file. He, like, feels like he knows me. But great. Thank you, sir. And I take the file.
Awesome. How about we roll for the first time?
I know. I was like, wow, this is an easy game.
Yep. I realize I'm playing it a lot easier. I've been playing it a lot more generous than maybe perhaps I normally would.
So generous.
But maybe that's, you know.
So are we investigating?
Yes. Roll investigation to see how.
Is that something we're both able to do, or just
like let me talk like whatever you guys
go for it?
Yeah.
Well, I think we both should, right? I mean, we're both reading a file. I'm not the only one reading it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
So roll an investigation.
2 successes.
I got 1 success.
Okay, so that's you crushed it. You mentioned. So what you find out is that Martin Beddoes is mentioned twice in the police reports. Once for attempting to steal the helmet of a policeman who was sent to the house, and once for being drunk in charge of a bicycle which was found to have been stolen. And there's a whole report written on this bicycle incident. And you read it, and at first you're like, oh, he's just being a drunk ass. But then you notice that in this report, it seems like he's maybe perhaps not drunk, but more distressed.
What was he saying?
Here's an extract from the police report. When I asked where he was going, he replied that he had to leave Hampstead immediately because his life was in danger. He declined to name the person who threatened him, saying only that she will find me. He repeated this several times, growing more agitated as he did so.
And they just put him in jail for the night?
Yes.
Or...
And the next day, Mrs. Danville, the householder, she came and paid his fines, and they seemed to have a one-on-one talk, the two of them, in private, and then they both left.
Who was the officer? Could we talk to the officer who...
He seems to not be on duty right now.
Okay.
But like this was a while ago. This was like a couple of weeks ago. So, and Sergeant Gerald Hall is already looking nervously at you, and this is very like out of the. This is not like you guys should not be reading this, even if Lydia is a police officer.
I think also Lydia whispers to Violet and is kind of like, he was running. Clearly he's running. He's not stealing a bicycle. He's trying to get away, right?
Right. I think that's pretty clear. It's odd that she would have had such an interest in only young men, isn't it? That is pretty specific.
Yeah. I mean, well, no offense to the young men, but they are pretty stupid, and when they get drunk, they're pretty belligerent. So maybe they're easier. No offense. I mean, women can be dumb too, but we gotta keep our wits about us when we're out. You know, we gotta protect ourselves.
I feel like Lance just rests his little dog head on the table at that point, and I'm like, "Not you, Lance. You're great. Like,
you're a good, smart boy.
Yeah, good, so smart."
But women, we gotta keep our wits about us. We can't be getting drunk and doing whatever. I feel like
running off.
Yeah, maybe
writing poetry.
Yeah, women shouldn't write poetry. We should enter the workforce.
That's mad. Yeah. Oi. Wild. Yeah, so she's gonna take a little bit of time to sort of let you sort through all of that stuff as much as possible, and she will go back up to the gentleman, Mr. Hall, like Officer Hall,
Sergeant.
and Sergeant. I'm so sorry.
No. Who cares? I'm not offended, and he is.
Okay. Whilst Lydia is sort of like refiling everything, because I'm assuming she would know how to do that, and I really wouldn't. She approaches Sergeant Hall and says, "I'm so sorry for the time we've taken up, but I'd really love to know if we are able to solve some of these problems, would you not be willing to send a good report back to London on behalf of my friend?"
I think he's a little confused by that request, but also a little bit alarmed immediately because he thinks that now he's gonna get dragged into something. But are you two planning on going there and getting yourself in trouble, which means you will be dragging me into more trouble? And I think like if you want to get this done, you should do it like without asking for permission, and then you'll probably be properly awarded later, but you should probably not reveal to him that you're planning on taking law in your own hands.
Yeah, she says, "Oh, we're just asking around, and we are just glad to have gotten a few more answers here. So if we see you and we have more information, we'll tell you, but we'll probably just have to report to Amelia. Oh no, your brother's still missing."
Oh, but it doesn't seem like he's missing. He's probably just in the house. Oh, like the report said, right?
Well, we're not planning to go there. Not us. Right, Lydia?
No, we're not. She's like writing. She's like, no, not going there. Wherever there is, I agree with what you're saying. Not going there.
And she says, "You look quite stressed. Can I offer you some tea?" And she sort of reaches into a little pouch and pulls out a little sachet of, she says, it's valerian root and lavender and passion flower. Very good for stress altogether. And honestly, if you brew some tea and then mix it in with a bit of beer, oftentimes I think people find it reduces anxiety. And who doesn't love a pint every now and again?
Oh, you're a kind lady, but for me, it's enough to just have a good old scotch.
And he takes a swig.
I don't need any new potions or...
It's just tea, but sure.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Are you not English? No.
Yeah. I forgot where I'm from. But you get the sense that this is what you can get out of the police station. And he is getting more and more stressed out the fact that you guys are still here. So
we should go.
We're leaving.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Well, goodbye, and don't get yourself in trouble now. Just go back to London and let that girl know that her brother is probably fine, but there's no need to hunt down these poets and fools. They're dumb.
Right.
Agreed then. Thank you so much, Sergeant, and hopefully I'll see you soon in the field.
Right. I'm sure I will. And he it's very condescending the way he says that.
Yeah, all right.
You got a lot of good information there. I think should we try to ask the neighbors, or should we just go up there and try to get a sense from outside the house what's going on?
I'm gathering that nobody here likes this house, and nobody here is going to give us any inch of information about Kitty, what's her name. I just think we have to go see her for ourselves.
Judging by the way we bumbled through town so far, I'm not sure we could walk circles around her in conversation. So the benefit of the second is sneaking in.
Do your dog know any
Not
tricks?
strictly legal. Sit. Not you, the dog.
That's it.
Take a bow. She tries to do a little trick with him.
I had a grand plan that we would make the dog lay down on the porch, and we put like vinegar tomato sauce on it, and we ring the doorbell, and then you and I go around the back, and they think that somebody left this dog, got kicked by a horse or something, and we peer in through the windows in the back as they check on the dog in the front. Pretty clever.
I love that. It's very clever. There's also the old classic, take him for a walk, get him to do his business, and leave a flaming, stinking pile of shite on the front porch. And then when they open the door, they step forward, they get shit all over, and maybe they're on fire, and they have to put it out. I don't know. Which one seems...
like the shit idea. And then we could then
it's
say...
a shit idea.
And we could then say, we heard somebody's leaving shit on your porch, and now we're coming to help you catch them, but really we're investigating.
Catch the shit meisters.
Yeah. You know what,
And this
maybe we should
conversation
just
is-
go to the house.
And this conversation is going on as you guys are walking down the street towards the house and the inn. And you notice that a couple of kids are playing outside on the street. Well, not necessarily street urchins, but like actual kids that belongs in the neighborhood.
Are they interested in the dog at all?
Yeah, they're like they immediately, without hesitation, run over to Lancelot and starts petting him. He's so cute.
Oh, that's a good boy.
He's so cute. What's his name?
His name is Lance. Ah, there you go, Lance. No biting now.
No.
That's a good boy.
I once had a pussycat, one tiny girl says.
Cats are trash, but I am happy for...
Oh, she died when I was 4. It was my best friend.
So sorry to hear that, but
What was
you
the
are
cat's
better
name?
off.
The cat's name was Shadow Faye.
Oh, that's a beautiful name for a little kitty cat. Hey, do you know that somebody's named Kitty? Did you know that?
Oh.
Nice. Good work.
Are you talking about... Are you talking about the sheep lady?
Yeah. Does she live in that big house up there?
Oh yeah, she lives in that big house up there.
Yeah.
Oh,
And they
you mean
call
the sheep
Yeah, they
lady?
call her the sheep lady because
Well, they call her the sheep lady because she walks funny and she has legs like a sheep. Brenda! Stop it! That's not nice and not how we talk about our neighbors, despite what we may think of them. And her mother suddenly shows up. Or actually,
that's okay,
her
Mum.
caretaker, her nanny, rather, walks up. I realize.
That's all right, man. We were just talking about kitty cats. She had a cat named Shadow Faye.
Right. And who are you?
My name's Lydia. I'm with the police force of London. This is my partner.
We just thought we'd come out and get the air.
Perhaps...
It's nice to get out of the city.
Oh, the police officer. Perhaps you could do something about this house once and for all.
What happened?
They have a terrible influence on this entire neighborhood. But you didn't hear anything from me, though. This is a peaceful and quiet neighborhood, and it shall remain that way. And we don't need any drama. We just need them to go.
Understood.
Interesting.
Yeah, I could go talk to them. Anything else I should know before I go up there and check out what's going on?
Be careful.
Of a lady named Kitty.
Just in general. They all seem... I don't know what they can do. They seem erratic. What's erratic, Ma? What is... Oh, wait, not Ma. You've been with me for so long that I confused you for my mother. My mother never sees me because she's rich and, doesn't take care of me. And now we hear the backstory of Brenda.
Goodbye, little
Goodbye,
girl.
Brenda.
Goodbye, Brenda.
I'll tell you more when you come back about my backstory.
Oh, and she drifts off.
What a
into
prize that will be.
The level of praise.
All right. Well,
I think. Okay.
hooves. Okay.
Here's what I think we should really do.
What do I? Oh, go ahead.
Well, I
Go
think
ahead.
we should really do is like do a perimeter walk, not B&E. Like we should not break into the house, but we should like see if like stealth, see if we can see through the windows to like catch anything that
Yeah.
she wouldn't want us to see. But then we should just go to the front door and
If we get caught, what should we say?
walk in the
if we
door.
get caught? Right. Perfect. Love that. God, you're really smart.
Thanks.
And as the two of you are talking to each other about this, you'd look up to the house again, and in the window, you see a woman looking at you.